What's going on, people? This is Shia Harris, and on today's episode of Interviews with the Rebel, I sit down with the creator, the founder of The Perfect Play, Huey. Does Huey have a last name? I think it's just Huey. So I sit down with Huey, and we discuss how he's actually been able to build The Perfect Play, what made him actually decide to start it, how he's actually been able to just grow the brand over the years, and pretty much everything else in between. So if you're somebody who's actually interested in growing a media brand, this is the Huey episode. We really need to figure out what's his last name, or is it just Huey? What's going on, people? This is Shia Harris of the Rebel Society, and this is another edition of Interviews with the Rebel. So Interviews with the Rebel is pretty much where I sit down with different innovative creatives and entrepreneurs to really discuss how they became who they are today, from their background, their origin story, to tips and tricks on actually how they actually became the creators and brands that we have in front of us today. So today we have my man Huey. How you doing today?
Yes, sir. What's up, brother?
Good, man. So I met Huey probably about 2 years ago when he was a guest on my podcast. We talked about, how he lost his virginity, all that wild stuff. But the thing that really stood out to me was, like, even though, Huey's like, much younger than me, but he was super focused on the things that he's trying to do. So I always found that to be like real admirable.
Appreciate that.
And just seeing you kind of like grow over the years has been like really dope to just be able to see that. So
appreciate that.
No problem. So for the people that don't know you, who are you and what do you do?
So I'm Huey. Like he said, I'm Huey, CEO, owner of The Perfect Play. I also manage DJ, goes by the name of Vega. That's pretty much what I do as far as when we break down what The Perfect Play is.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So The Perfect Play, as seen here, actually is a website. Initially just started off as a blog, but it is a website, but it's also becoming more of a media platform, but also where we offer services and things of that nature. So with The Perfect Play, we cover everything which you can see on our website, which is podcast, playlists, music, interviews, fashion, sports, food, Virginia, art, paid services, and shop. So all that entails, we break down all of that. We have clothing that we sell, that we drop. We're not a clothing brand, but we do drop merchandise, various things. It could be clothes, could be accessories, could be different things, Okay. We have a podcast. We are currently under RNC Radio, based out of LA. So shout out to all the RNC guys. We have the podcast. We do exclusive visual interviews. Then we also do paid services. That's where people can pretty much, just like the title says, paid services. People can pay us to basically do videography, photography, graphic design work, creative consulting. That's a big one, which we'll touch on that a little bit in this interview. Creative consulting is a big one that a lot of people haven't been utilizing in the area in general, I think, but people need to. But creative consulting, electronic press kits, brand enhancement's a big one. So we offer those as paid services. What else? And then we do like media coverage also. So like recently, we've done a few of Sky Welkin's events. Shout out to Sky Welkin, Shake Norfolk from around here. We've done a few of their events where we basically get hired, if you will, to come out and we'll do videography. Okay. So we'll do like video recaps, photography, things of that nature, man. So that's everything with Perfect Play. And like I said, I manage Vega. You can follow him at SBSTN VGA. So yeah, he's a DJ, and that's pretty much going well too. But we'll touch on all that.
All right, cool. So icebreaker question, right?
All right, let's go.
So, which music artist do you feel like you relate to the most, as far as music aesthetic or that?
You gotta go further, Jigga.
Really?
Jigga.
Okay, yeah, and why is that? Because I feel like everybody picks, Jay, but
Jay, Jay, the way he thinks, I think more than anything else, man. He's really, the famous line, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. Yeah. That's exactly how I think. You know what I'm saying? I tell everybody that I am the business. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. It's just everything about his moves. Even the thing with the NFL. How
Very strategic.
Very strategic, but his resilience also.
Okay.
You know, how the media backlash and how the people might, you know, say this, say that.
The media killed him on that one.
Yeah, but he's able to not react like some of his past friends, if you will. I'm sure you know what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? But he's able to just take it and be like, okay, cool. I'm gonna just prove to y'all, you know, when the time comes, you know, that his compassion, you know, how he, you know, looked out for Meek and things of that nature. And I mean, the countless amount of Black lives that he's, you know, got out of jams where they shouldn't have been in that situation anyways. You know what I'm saying? True. Even if you look at like the Khalif Browder story, like it's plenty of stuff, man. And then just the way he's able to not be put in a box. Because if you think about it, man, before Jay, rappers weren't rapping this long. You know what I'm saying?
Jay about to be 50 this
exactly.
year.
Exactly. And not say that he's the first one to rap this long in that sense, but to stay relevant rapping. You know what I'm saying? But
he could drop a verse right now and people will still want to go and listen to it.
Exactly, and that's what I'm getting at, man.
Cool OD wasn't doing that.
He wasn't, bro. He wasn't. He might have been rapping, but people won't trying to listen. You know, he really is he breaks down those barriers, man. And that's why I respect so much, man. Because if you look at all other genres of music, you got Mick Jagger, you got all these, you know, Mick Jagger, Aerosmith. These guys, a lot of these guys still tour. You know, these guys are like 60 years old. You know what I'm saying? But there's no limit on their music. But hip hop was known as a young man's game for so long. Jay broke that barrier. You know, that's something I plan on doing, breaking barriers. You know what I'm saying, and not abiding by what people consider is, you know, all the time, an age to do things. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Age is it's a control thing. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So
okay, all right. So Jay's your guy. So
yeah,
all right.
Jay, man.
I appreciate that. All right. So first real question is, I'm really big in like origin stories. So how people actually got to where they at. So what's like your 90-second origin story of how you became Huey of Perfect Play? Okay.
So Huey the Perfect Play. I'm gonna start it after high school. After high school, I from Suffolk. Pretty much just ventured out to Norfolk. Knew one friend out here. That's when work release is going on still. I went to work release with him once. Met 2 or 3 people, let them know, you know, I'm Huey, this is what I do. At that time, I was doing a Perfect Play. Just started it though. So at that time, I let them know what I do, you know, that 3 people turned to 6 the next time I went out, you know. So what happened is I was going out every weekend. And my goal was to talk to the same people I talked to from last weekend, but to talk to some
more people.
Exactly. So as I did that, more people found out what Huey does, and I found out what people do. Right. And then from there, just continue to build, which got me my first, you know, Crazy interview, which is the first interview with Perfect Play. Shout out to Crazy for that. But yeah, man. So like I said, from that, it just grew and it grew and it grew, and that network got me to pretty much where I am now. And it's just, you know, like I tell anybody, it's a network, man.
All right. So what made you actually start the Perfect Play?
So the Perfect Play, like I tell anyone, I actually joined the Perfect Play on day 2. I had a friend that started the Perfect Play. Some things happened, some internal issues, you know what I'm saying, where he decided to step away. And when he stepped away, it was a thing where he was like, I don't want to do the Perfect Play at all no more. I want to do with it. So I said, yo, well, all right, well, cool. I'm gonna run this show then. Right? And since I took over, man, it's
been moving ever since.
Yeah, it skyrocketed, you know.
All right, cool. All right, so when you first started out, what were some of like I can say the ups and downs, but like, what were some of the mistakes that you made running this business?
Let me see. Some of the mistakes I made, man, I would say really not being patient. I had to learn patience. My wife helped me out a lot with that, because I'm the type of guy, man, as most people can tell, I'm very persistent. I know what I want. I know how I'm gonna get there. But sometimes in this business, it ain't about what you want, or even your team at this point, where we're at with Perfect Play, we have a team, but it ain't about what me or the team necessarily wants so much as to having to work with the other pieces around you too. Right. And in that sense, I'm talking about like learning that getting interviews with people ain't gonna happen when you want it to happen. You gotta wait. You gotta build it up. You know what I'm saying? Getting sponsorships ain't gonna happen right away. You gotta build it up. Right. And that was my thing, because I have supreme confidence in myself, and now I have a team. I have supreme confidence in them also. So I always knew, all right, man, there ain't no reason why, resource players shouldn't want to do an interview with me. I know I'm dope. I'm just as dope as the next site or the next person, whatever. But I had to learn that, you got to work. You got to put in the work. I didn't have a problem putting in the work, but I had a patience, man. Patience was like, yo.
Trying to make it happen right then.
It don't happen right away. It don't happen right away.
All right, cool. In my past, I've run like a couple different websites. Back when like blogs and stuff was kind of like really like popping, like Two Dope Boys, Not Right, all them 100%. Type of stuff. Yeah. So now that sites and, blog sites, music sites aren't really, popping the way they used to be, like, how do you still remain relevant or remain like a location, a destination for people when, a lot of people aren't going to like websites and stuff? Being
genuine. Okay. I'm gonna tell you, being genuine. That's number one. Being genuine, and not so much being a site or a team that is out of reach from the people, but being with the people, right? If you go to the Perfect Play Instagram and look at, I encourage everybody to do so. You go to Perfect Play Instagram and look at what our I don't know what you would call it, but our description or whatever you would call it in Instagram. How you have a website,
your
whatever.
And all that,
It says community.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's not just a mistake. That's intentional, because what we have with the Perfect Play is we want to build a community, man. It's not about building a website. We want to be there for the people.
Okay.
So what we think is cool, we know that other people are going to think is cool too. So we want them to come check it out. We feel like they will, because they are a part of this. You know what I'm saying? It's not just us. They're a part of this just as much. And then another thing is because we've all seen, social media crash, if you will, right?
Right.
But website, given, in the sense of crash, I'm talking about like it not be relevant anymore. So just like Facebook, it's still relevant kind of, but not really for what we're doing, if you will, much. Instagram's more the thing, right? So Instagram can happen to Instagram next week, right? So if that happens,
I feel like it's heading that way now.
Oh, 100%. We can talk about that too. 100%. But so when that happens, because in due time it will.
Right.
Perfectplay.co will still be there. You know what I'm saying? So we're always going to be able to be that destination for people to come to.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So when you first started the site, or, you and your former partner first got it off the ground, what were some things that you guys were doing to kind of get your name out there besides going to the events, like you just said?
Honestly, man, I would say this is after he's out the picture already. Because it's crazy, but like day 2, I joined. By day 15,
he was out.
It was out. You know what I'm saying? So really, that's why I tell people, when we have interviews, I tell people the whole story or whatever. But to get the site out itself, man, was more of a thing where we placed a huge focus on providing a platform, which we still do, for local acts, right? Which hence,
because there's not a lot of media coverage for a local act. So
exactly, and that's something that we still want to place a focal point on. At that time, we did a whole lot, man, because it was more acts really out there and really trying to push themselves to a certain level, and we wanted to be a part of helping them get to that next level.
Okay.
Now I would say that the acts are still out there, but I don't know if it's as much going on. I think it kind of died down a little bit. I don't know why. Yeah, I think so.
It seems like there's more acts doing more things now.
Exactly. I think they're doing more things, but I don't know. I don't know if everybody is strategic and really serious. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I don't feel, me personally, this is me talking. I'm not even speaking. This ain't even my team talking. It's me personally. I don't know if everybody has a plan now, whereas
people are just doing it just because.
Yeah, at that time I felt like everybody had a plan. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I talked to Young Crazy in the interview, you can go back and check it out. And he says, you know what I'm saying? Such wanted to sign me, but I'm holding out for this.
Right.
I'm doing, it was a plan, whereas now, given I think that people is people doing more things, more artists doing more things, like as far as they doing merchandise, they're doing production, they're doing a bunch of different things, but I don't know if they have a real plan. And when you don't have a real plan, it makes it hard for somebody to really give you a platform and showcase you. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we can't jeopardize our brand and what we stand for and quality content. You know, if we put that artist on this site, you know, right now, a year from now, somebody gonna want to know where that artist at. We can't put somebody on the site that ain't really serious, and then next year they fizz out. You know, not because of they're not popular anymore, but because they never had a plan. Okay. You know, so.
Okay. Yeah. So you also said that you do artist management as well.
100%.
So what was the thought process, or what made you decide to, you know, get into that or add that as an arm of the Perfect Play?
Well, I will say that that's not currently an arm technically of the Perfect Play.
Gotcha.
In the sense of the Perfect Play isn't technically managing people. It's more of a thing where I manage artists, and you know, in due time we will build a team to where we'll have certain people in place just to manage acts. You know, but the reason being is because I've seen so many, as I'm sure you have also, artists that don't have a plan. Exactly what I just said.
Yeah.
That's the reason why, you know, it's because it's not a thing where it's about financial gain. For me, it's more of the impact, man. The impact is what matters most to me and my team over anything else is impact. So what we want to do is be able to give these artists, these DJs, whoever is willing to be managed and willing to listen.
Right.
And
that's also a big thing.
Exactly. You got to be willing. You got to be coachable.
Yeah.
Right. You know,
a lot of people aren't coachable.
They're not. You know, and I think another thing my wife helps me with is me. I played sports my whole life, so I'm very coachable. You know, at the end of the day, I can take what somebody's saying and not necessarily think they're talking at me, but more so talking to me to help me improve. So as an artist or as an act, you got to be able to do that.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we want to help build that for people, and help take them to the next level. We're not going to say we're going to be there with them from day 1 to day 1,000, because I'm sure there's somebody that at some point they might want to venture off and get somebody more experience. We would hope that they want to stay on board and we all grow together, but that happens too, and it's okay.
Okay. So I believe that there's a blueprint for pretty much everything, especially when it comes to business.
Yeah.
As far as, you know, like with my business, I say this on every episode, but with my business, if I'm networking, putting out original content, as well as, pretty much those two things. If I do those two things, my business is going to grow. I'm going to get new clients. I'm going to get, you know, that brand awareness that I need to kind of, you know, keep this boat on track.
Yeah.
So 2 questions in regards to that. So as far as having a media company that you're building out, what do you feel like is the blueprint to like build that? So, I mean, as far as like, for anybody who is in the space, what are the 2 or 3 things that if anybody does those things, they're going to be successful? And then I'll ask my second question.
For a media platform in general? I think consistency.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. Consistency, and then, like you said, original content.
Okay.
Something that has been key for the Perfect Play success this year has been the cool. I can curse on here.
Yeah.
Okay. The cool shit for Saturday morning. Cool shit for Saturday morning. That's huge for us.
Right.
That's original content.
Yeah.
That's something to where if you go on our Instagram story on Saturday mornings at around 10 a.m., you'll go in there. You'll see a about 10 to 20 pictures on our story where you have a thumbprint where you can press to go to the next slide. That's something original. Something we recently launched was 72 Hours Later, where we cover a album that dropped on Friday. We'll drop the review on Monday. 72 Hours Later has a few different original content things.
Right.
Stuff
do you
like
do that just on the site, or that's on Instagram as well?
That's on Instagram. As far as the 72 Hours Later thing, that's going to be added to the site once we get more of them done.
Gotcha.
The cool shit for Saturday morning currently
that's just on Instagram.
It lives on Instagram. Yes, but stuff like that. That's the big thing. But I think consistency. You know what I'm saying? With the Perfect Play, when people look at what we do, we put the logo on it, but they don't have to see the logo to know the brand identity is there. You know, so I think consistency, brand identity, and then original content.
Okay. And my second question in regards to like blueprint is, which companies do you feel like laid the blueprint for, not necessarily what you personally want to do, but just for media coverage or, you know, just a media platform? Is there any companies that you actually like look to and say, all right, well, they doing it right. Let me try to like kind of take some things from them.
There's a few. I don't know. I mean, not really. There's a few that I think are cool. I've been a big fan of Fader my whole life. Fader was cool. Highs Nobody is cool. Those are only two I would say that I really like looked at and really like was like, damn, that's dope. Another one that a lot of people are not familiar with, the homie Cam Hicks, the Upsetter.
Oh, okay.
That's another one that's pretty tight.
Okay.
Yeah, so those
I used to like really look at like
Yeah.
Complex because just the way they were.
Complex Blue, like I think
They fucked it up.
Yeah.
They fucked
There's
it up.
way left now.
Yeah, but at one moment they were like kind of like doing things that no other platform was doing.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
but
I agree.
they definitely fucked it
I
up.
agree. I think, like I said, with all of those, even there's very slim pickings with like stuff I look at and be like, oh, that's tight.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like with the Upsetter, the way the original content like Cam does with like his photography and his like the way he does it, it's amazing to me.
Really?
You know, I've told him that it's amazing. With Highs Nobody, I like the fact of their fashion aspect. You know, they're more of a fashion site. I like their fashion aspect and how they make sure everything with fashion is covered. I'm a big fashion guy. My team is also. So we like that. And then with the Fader, I just like the consistency. Over the years, they've been consistent, but there's gaps in all of those, in my opinion, also. We try to build not to be like them, but to take different aspects of different things, you know. Similar like, you know, like somebody like LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? Take aspects of Magic, Jordan, you know.
And just kind of sprinkle all into your own thing.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. I really like that. So as far as making money with, you know, this type of business, what are ways that you can do that? Because a lot of people don't feel like they just have a site where, you know, they do interviews or put out their own original content. But I feel like besides like a Complex or like a House in the Body or what was the other one? Hype Beast or something like that. There's really no set blueprint on how to actually, you know, profit from doing this. So like, what are your thoughts on that? Like,
I think well, first off, what I will say, anyone who's trying to do this, obviously, you know, financial gain that's something that people want.
Right.
Obviously, you can't come into this expecting just financial gain. But some ways that financial gain does come is similar to things that we're doing, offering other services that directly relate to what you do, though, you know, and can feed back into what you do.
Right.
A big thing is sponsors, like, you know, having people that respect what you do and being willing to, okay, well, I like what you do. I see that, you know, you have an amazing crowd, a following, you know, a community that's behind you. So can you do a commercial for me and put it on your site? You know, I'll give you this amount for that. And that's the big thing, you know, and then just being willing to branch out, man. And like, you know, something that we recently done was the matcha lemonade collaboration with Ginger Hales. Shout out to Ginger Hales and Carl, the homie. That's a lemonade company. Right. You know what I'm saying? And we teamed up, you know, and was like, yo, and I'm gonna tell you, I'll give you a little story of how that started. Carl, I've known Carl since we were younger, back in Suffolk, but he launched.
What high school you went to?
I went to Nesman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went to Nesman. Carl went to Kings Fork though.
Okay.
But yeah, Carl does Ginger Hale's Lemonade. I was familiar with the brand, the company. I've been following for a little bit.
Yeah.
And he had contacted us when we posted our paid services and was like, yo, you know, I'm trying to get a backdrop for this event I'm doing. So from there, we just kept talking business. You know, we done a menu for him, this and that. And I hit him up one day, and everybody knows I love matcha. Matcha tea is my favorite, you know. So I hit him up. I was like, man, you know, and not just me, actually. It was crazy. My whole team does. So we have our meetings, like all of us be sitting here with matcha. Yeah, all of us, you know, it's crazy. But yeah, so I hit him up. I was like, yo, it'd be dope if we do a collab, bro. And he was like, what you got in mind? I was like, yo, let's do a matcha lemonade. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're already Ginger Hale's, you know, lemonade. You know what I'm saying? So let's do a matcha lemonade collab, you know, and we'll do the actual the label that goes on, and we'll do the graphic design work, and we can drop it together, you know what I'm saying? And that's how we do it now. You know what I'm saying? It's fire, man. Like anytime he does right now is just living on like doing with vending opportunities and things of that nature, but it's in all up down the East Coast. Yeah, so it's dope, man. It's gonna be coming to some stores soon too.
Really?
So yeah, we'll let y'all know when that drops, but it should be within the next 5 to 6 months.
Okay.
Some stores, man.
All right, dope. All right, so something that you actually just mentioned that kind of stood out to me is like, you said that you're doing a lot of stuff using, you know, Instagram. What was like the thought process behind that? Because I ain't gonna lie, at the beginning of the year, I feel like you started probably doing that at the beginning of the year, right?
I would say about that first quarter of the year, around March.
Yeah, so I know when I started seeing it, I was like, oh, this is dope. Like this really like stands out. It looks clean. It looks like something that like one of those bigger brands would be doing. Yeah. So that stood out to me. I was like, oh, he's on to something right here. So like, what was the thought process behind that, or what made you decide to do it?
I would say that with that in general, as I mentioned previously, with our team. We put our minds together and really was just like, yo, I told them, I said, yo, this is our task. We need new ideas.
Yeah.
I'm big on ideas, bro. Yeah. If y'all are not familiar with Steve Ballmer, he's the owner of the Clippers, big guy with Microsoft, and he has this YouTube video I love to watch. I watch it like every week, like once or twice, where he's sweating. He's doing this talk. He's like, developers. So one time we had a meeting, Perfect Play, and I come in there, I'm like, ideas. And that's like the biggest thing for me, ideas, new ideas. So we needed new ideas. Everything that we liked was cool. It was dope, what we were doing, but we were like, how can we make something ours that we love, that we want to present to the people, what I'm saying? Something organic.
Right.
And then from there, it was just like, yo, let's come up with this. I was like, yo, I had the team one day. I was like, yo, I got this idea, cool shit for Saturday morning. Like, Saturday mornings I wake up and I'm like, all right, Instagram's kind of boring. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not
usually like the weekend stuff don't really dry, be popping. Right? Yeah,
it's dry. Yeah. So that's why I was like, yo, Instagram's kind of boring on Saturday morning. So cool shit for Saturday mornings. I'm gonna give people a weekly recap on what's going on. My team was like, yo, we love it. Yeah. Like we was like, all right, cool. Let's make it live on Instagram story. So that's how that came about. Because
Instagram story actually gets more traction than just your regular timeline.
It does. Yeah. It really does. So yeah, that's how that came about, man. But yeah, it was just different ideas, man. From there, this was a spiral. You know what I'm saying? Right. Those ideas, even the layout of our Instagram, if people don't notice, like we have a certain border we use.
Right.
We use the same font.
Yeah.
Things like that, man. 72 hours later, that's another thing that like we were just like, yo, it came because we were tired of like half-ass reviews of albums and like people
want to do reviews 2 hours after
it's impossible, man. It's impossible. So what we was like 72 hours later, album dropped at like midnight or whatever, we'll drop the review on Monday, and what we'll do is we'll take 72 hours and it's like we don't just like bullshit and like we're not just saying that to say it. Like, we were like over that weekend when Kanye joint dropped, like we really listened to that joint like over and over.
So do y'all do it like as a team, or is it just one person that kind of does
it's a whole breakdown on Instagram. But pretty much what we do is we have a point system. We all individually rank it. Okay. And then we compile everything. And when we compile everything, that's what gets the total percentage rating on it being a perfect play. Yeah. Hence the the name and everything. Yeah. 100% is the 100% perfect play. Okay. Kanye's got a 55%. Okay. To let you know what we thought about it a little bit. Yeah. And then we also, every time we do that, we'll have a quotable from one of our members. Gotcha. That says, yo, this is why I personally felt this, so there's that. Encouragement posts are very big for us. That's a big one that I definitely want to touch on. The encouragement posts every Monday at 9 a.m. On our actual page, on the actual feed, we have an encouragement post that goes up. Y'all can check out. And those, that's probably the most heartfelt one we came up with, man, just because at the time, we had all been just seeing a lot of like suicidal things, mental health issues, things of that nature, man. Even some of us dealing with it, internally, personally, you know what I'm saying?
Our depression and all that
stuff. Exactly, our close family members and stuff. So we were like, yo, what's a way that we can, like I said, once again, community, man. We care about the people. Right. So I was like, yo, I think I might have an idea. I was like, we got to encourage people. And then I forgot which team member, but somebody was like, yeah, we can do posts encouraging them. I said, dope, let's come up with some quotes. I love quotes. I'm a big quote guy. I have a whole library of quotes on my phone, like a ton of them. That I go through here and there. Yeah. But and they were like, yo, so let's research quotes. All of us research quotes, came up with a big list and was like, okay, every Monday, start of the week, start of work week at least, like regular 40-hour, 9 to 5, whatever. 9 a.m., we have a post go up every week. All right. And basically, the post it'll be a quote from someone. Encourage is an encouraging quote, not necessarily something directly pertaining to mental health issues all the time. Various things, but all positive. That's the key. I'll tell you about positivity.
Okay. So you mentioned something as far as you have these 3 different initiatives. and you say you have a certain time that they go out every week.
100%.
So is this something that you have like just automatically set up where it's like manual, or it automatically goes out on its own, or do you somebody on the team manually is going in and
encouragement posts automatically go up?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have we do have a few. I don't know if I want to give out those my apps yet, but I have it's a few. That's something that actually, you know, not a shameless plug, the brand enhancement. Yeah. We would help someone do that. Okay. Set up that, but yeah, a lot of stuff. Not only with the encouragement post is the only thing that consistently drops that we have on a timer. Right. Where it drops at 9 a.m. Every Monday. Okay. But other than that, everything else is manual. Okay. Manual, but there are times where if we have a podcast dropping at noon on a Friday,
you'll go ahead and set it up.
We'll set up, like something like that. We'll set up that morning, or, something like that.
Okay. All right. So before we wrap this up, like one last question is, what's the ultimate goal for what you got going on, man, for the perfect play?
The ultimate goal for the perfect play, man, is to be a huge multimedia platform. First with media, but not only, like I said, once again, not being caged into just media. We do want to branch into more clothing, more accessories, more lifestyle things. We obviously, like I said, with the matcha lemonade, we branched into that. We basically just want to do everything and tap into everything that we as a team feel is important to us. What's important to us is our mental health, our physical health, our networking, our music, our food, everything. You know, all these things that we present is what's important to us. So we feel like if it's important to us, it should be important to the consumer community also, man. So the goal is to just continue to grow the perfect play, man. We are currently, we do have a small team, but that's going to continue to grow also. But a big thing with us is in building our team is genuine energy, right? So you don't got to be the best cameraman in the world, but if you're willing to learn and you are solid, and as a team we feel that you're solid, we're willing to sit down and talk and work with you, man. So, yeah, man, it's about growing, man. The ultimate goal, I would say, the ultimate goal of all goals is when it's all said and done, people can say the perfect play left an impact of positivity on our lives.
Okay, cool. All right, so where can people find you at, man? This has been a great conversation.
100%, man. I appreciate you, man.
No problem at all, man.
So you can check The Perfect Play out on Instagram at The Perfect Play, just as it spells up there, The Perfect Play. On Twitter, Perfect Play Co. And then when you go on those platforms, you'll also, on Instagram, you'll see the highlights where you can check out different stuff like Cool Shit for Saturday Morning, podcasts, and also the paid services. So if you go up there and there's anything that you are interested in, theperfectplay.co@gmail.com is the email that you can contact and we can discuss. One thing we pride ourselves on is responding. We respond to every email. Right. Now whether that's going to be a good response or a response where we come back next time, that depends. But we do respond to every email, and we are looking forward to hearing from y'all. And we also take constructive criticism, man. We're not sensitive people. We like to talk to people. If you see us out, please talk to us, man. We want to talk to you. We want to know what you think. We want to, we're always willing to hear and check people out, man. Anything, man. So, yeah, man. That's us. I don't really want to go through a whole list of our team Instagram and stuff. It's a lot, but
you can find everything on the Perfect Play.
Perfect Play. Just go to our following, and everybody we follow is who's on the team, man.
All right, cool. Yeah. So, if you like this episode and it spoke to your soul, it made you decide that you want to get up and do something, then I'm not asking you to subscribe. I'm not asking you to like this video, but do me a favor and go ahead and just click these videos right here and just watch them all the way through. These are some of my favorite videos, and I feel like you enjoy them. So this is Shad Harris, and I'm out.